Since the beginning of time, street art has been a part of society. The cavemen, the ancient Egyptians, the Mayans, and even the Greeks drew on walls. They used this form of graffiti to express their culture and religious beliefs. Today, however, street art has evolved to be a way to express many things. Some people make it to express their feelings. Others use it to express the current situation in their communities. But most importantly, it has been used in rebellion against oppression and discrimination. What is unique about street art is that it can be found anywhere, and it is made where it'll be seen by lots of people. To see how this has been put into effect, let's first look at some of street art's most prominent figures and the way they changed the graffiti world.
One influential street artist is Tracy168. He inspired the most prominent style of graffiti there is today, which is known as wild style. It's characterized by its sharp, jagged edges, bold lettering, and neon colors. Tracy168 is also known for founding the Wanted Crew. This was a large group of graffiti artists who began using wild style in their street art. In an interview in 2016, Tracy said, "The message of wild style is to be yourself. Find out what your talent is and get good at it." Now, wild style is one of the most popular forms of street art, and it really shows how street art has evolved over time to become much more complex and interesting. Another interesting artist is Banksy. Little is known about him, as he has never revealed his face, real name, or any other personal information. However, he is well known in the street art landscape for his unique style of art. Banksy conveys deep, hidden meanings within his paintings, many of which involve political or cultural aspects. A good example of this is his famous painting Bomb Hugger. This painting shows how Banksy believes that the power of love is enough to overwhelm hate and war. Another famous painting by Banksy is Girl with Balloon. Banksy built a shredder into the frame of this painting in case anyone ever tried to sell it. The painting eventually found its way into an auction, and Banksy made it shred itself right after it had been sold for 860,000 British pounds. However, the shredder failed halfway through, so the painting was still partially intact, and now the painting is worth many times more. The reason Banksy did this was because he wanted the painting to be enjoyed by everyone, instead of it being kept locked up in a private gallery. Since much of Banksy's art is based on anti-violence, Banksy recently created 7 murals at sites in Ukraine that had been bombed by the Russians. These paintings each have different meanings, but they are all there to protest the war.
A good example of the influence of street art is the Egyptian Revolution. Back in 2011, the Egyptian populace was incredibly angry at the regime of President Hosni Mubarak. On the 25th of January, various youth groups led an insurgency against the terrible situation in their country. People across Egypt took part in marches, civil resistance, disobedience, and strikes. The people rebelled for a variety of reasons, including police brutality, corruption, unemployment, and a lack of political freedom. Over 850 people were killed, and more than 6,000 were injured in the conflict. But how is this violent part of history connected to street art? In the time leading up to the insurgency, many people used street art and graffiti to convey their disappointment with the current situation and to get their government to realize that something was wrong and change it before it was too late. Sadly, that didn't happen, and this part of history stands as a reminder that the people will rebel if their pleas for help are not answered.
The main reason street art is so important in our culture today is because it's a form of expression. Street art is a way that people can support the things that they believe in and protest the things that they don't. And because of that, street art has had an impact on the way that society works today. Street art and graffiti have broken barriers because they gave people a voice when they weren't being listened to. Street art broke frontiers by redefining what was and wasn't possible in terms of cultural expression, and it gave the people a voice so that they could speak up against the oppression that they were faced with.